Obamacare is what it is today because the Republicans at that time completely disagreed with so many different parameters around this healthcare plan that they did a lot of back and forth of voting to change this, doing different amendments to this and changing this and changing that.
Do you support Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act?
Affordable Care Act.
And why is that?
Well, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Obama, so I don't support him in the Obama things that he's got going on. I'm actually really excited for President-elect Donald Trump, so.
Right. So you don't like anything Obama does, and you prefer the Affordable Care Act?
Absolutely.
All of these Trump voters admitting that they didn't realize that Obamacare was the Affordable Care Act when they vehemently hated Obamacare is one of the most openly racist things I've ever seen in my life.
Obamacare was not a disaster, and I really wish y'all would stop spreading that lie. And it's got to be because either A, you're too young to remember what the financial market and environment looked like back in like 2006, 2008, or you got a very short memory.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, over a decade, a crowd of many people believed that this Obamacare was evil. They knew that this thing was not going to help any of these Americans, but only help Obama. Then it came the Affordable Care Act that sounded very sensible, very affordable to the people of America. People knew that this Affordable Care Act will help them a lot, only to find out that the Affordable Care Act is the same thing as Obamacare. In short, the Obamacare was never evil the way people used to believe. This issue has really made most people to be so angry, betrayed, and they feel misinformed, especially the MAGA people. Let's quickly jump into the video and come back for quick discussions. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to it.
Are we really shocked by the amount of people that didn't know that Obamacare was the same thing as the Affordable Care Act, the comprehensive healthcare reform law that was passed in 2010 and signed into law by Obama, and the shocking amount of people who want this law repealed but benefit from it directly? I've seen a lot of people on the For You page pointing fingers and making fun of the people who voted against their best interests, and while I'm not here to do that, I'm actually here to understand why the line of logic and the political branding has led us to this point. For the majority of times I've seen people critique the Affordable Care Act in a negative light, they use the term Obamacare interchangeably, which gained popularity by the people who wanted to use it in a more derogatory sense, usually by people who were opponents of the law. I'm willing to bet when we look at polls that actually use the messaging Obamacare versus the Affordable Care Act, there's going to be a significant difference in favorability just because of the term switch. We were talking about the same exact thing. By the way, I think we can all agree that the American healthcare system, it's broken in so many different ways, it's not perfect. In fact, I think a lot of people who suffer with chronic pain, who are disabled, who will become disabled, and who are marginalized, specifically Black women, are disproportionately harmed by the system. Now, something I still can't wrap my head around is if the Affordable Care Act were to be repealed, what would take its place, especially considering the amount of people who have pre-existing health conditions who would then be kicked off their insurance or who would only be able to regain it through paying hiked up premiums, many of which would be absolutely unaffordable to the people who need it the most. While the American healthcare system should be more to heal rather than to harm, how is blowing it up and starting again going to be more beneficial than building upon what we already have?
All of these Trump voters admitting that they didn't realize that Obamacare was the Affordable Care Act when they vehemently hated Obamacare is one of the most openly racist things I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't understand how they don't have the critical thinking and the thought process to just know not to say that out loud because of just how simply racist it is that they were so against Obamacare just because they associated it with Obama, which was the point. That's why Republicans coined Obamacare, so that racist people would hate it without understanding what it was. And that's exactly what they're admitting happened by saying they hated Obamacare and they thought Trump was going to get rid of Obamacare, but they have the Affordable Care Act and they didn't realize they were the same thing.
How did Obamacare destroy our healthcare system? More people.
You got an hour and a half? You got an hour and a half? Individual state exchanges, 28 medical excise taxes, not allowing health insurance to be bought across state lines.
Bro, you just love talking over women, don't you?
No, I like talking over you too, actually.
Okay,
so. I'm sorry if I assumed your gender, but go ahead, finish your point.
But the dismantling of the health of the Affordable Care Act that the Trump administration has done has been more detrimental to the healthcare system than anything else. Actually, premiums have been going down, but now that the Trump administration has been doing all these short-term plans and things like that, now they're going back up.
Well,
insurance companies
it
are building
depends
that
what
into
state.
their premiums.
So The individual mandate repeal was a tax cut on our generation.
Insurance companies literally say in their premium increases, we are increasing premium rates because the individual mandate was repealed.
Who is using this as a whole, the A.C.A., also known as Obamacare, but who is the group of people that are actually using it?
Yeah, this to me was one of the biggest surprises. When you actually dig into the data, you can understand why Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing what she's doing and why this debate is actually dividing Republicans. Because take a look here. Who are the A.C.A. marketplace enrollees? Look at this. The plurality are actually Republicans. Republicans are more likely to use the marketplace than Democrats are at 45%. Democrats at 35%. Then you get independents at 20%. But the key nugget here is Republicans are more likely, in fact, to be the enrollees in the marketplace than Democrats are. And the majority of the enrollees, 57%, are in Republican-held congressional districts like Marjorie Taylor Greene's. So what we're seeing here is it's not actually Democrats who are the only ones who are taking advantage of Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. There are a lot of Republicans, and the clear plurality of those who are the marketplace enrollees are actually Republicans, and the majority of them are actually in Republican-held districts. And that is why, Sarah, you're seeing this debate really divide Republicans and really unite Democrats.
Now, y'all have already watched the video, and guys, back then in 2010, when Obama signed for that Obamacare, it really brought extremely heated political battle in the Congress, and people were like so against it. They didn't buy that idea. Why? Because they thought, or even they believed, that this Obamacare was gonna be like a project that Obama is funding to benefit himself. So people were annoyed about it. People were so bitter. Let me tell you guys, people were annoyed. They never accepted those things. They refused it because they felt like they'll make Obama grow rich, you know. So people refused it, and you could hear people talking about it in the barber shops, saloons, restaurants, in the marketplaces, in the churches. People are opposing this Obamacare thing. They didn't want anything to do with Obama. You know, just the name itself, Obama, they didn't want. And you know, there are also people out there who are so racist, and they're like, why Obama? Why Obama? But here is the twist. Nothing itself, even the law, changed anything about the Obamacare. The Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act. What they did is they rebranded the name of the Obamacare to the Affordable Care Act. And those who did it were the political marketing people. Now the MAGA, they are so annoyed. They feel, why are you guys really trying us so hardly? Why have we offended you people? Yeah, you all have watched the video. You could hear a certain guy doing the street shows, the street talks, asking various and random people like, how do you feel about Obamacare? Do you prefer Obamacare or just the Affordable Care Act? But to many people, to most of those people actually, you've seen they were so surprised, like, what do you mean Obamacare is the same as Affordable Care Act? Because all the way through, they've been hating on this Obamacare. They've been, no, we don't want this Obamacare. We don't want it. They've been fighting against it, in short. It's so ironical that just from the name, it's Affordable Care Act. It's so unfortunate that there are so many Americans out there, they cannot afford it, my love. They can't. The Affordable Care Act was never to control the price, but to cover what is built on top of the private insurance markets. It is so painful to watch the premiums set so high, and on the other side, bills are crashing out and destroying families. That's betrayal of the highest level. Because let me ask you, how are you going to survive? How are these Americans going to survive? Another issue is that many of these affordable care units, they only cover some specific hospitals, doctors, and also states. I'm trying to imagine people in the rural areas. How do they go about this issue? Do they have to travel from their rural place back here in town, or how do they do it? I'd really love to know, guys. If you're from the rural places, comment that down below. How do you guys go about it? Are you guys facing a challenge just to have it? Because what happens if you get sick? You know, people have also complained that in the Affordable Care Act, there are no therapists. For example, in the mental health and also dental care people, they need to put and add more and more therapy. Now, my loves, I'll really love to hear what your thoughts are about this situation, about this Obamacare, especially to those MAGA supporters who didn't know that Obamacare and Affordable Care Act is the same thing. Share your comments. Tell us more. Tell us, how is this Affordable Care Act? How does it go? How is it helping you? Is it benefiting you? Because you've also heard me saying that this Affordable Care Act cannot cover to some places. Then I gave an example as to those rural places. Now, I'll really love to know, especially those people from the rural places, because they are our brothers and sisters, so we should be considerate to know how they're doing and how they get access to this Affordable Care Act. Let me know what your thoughts are over there. Don't forget, please, my loves, don't forget to hit the subscription button, follow, like, share, just do everything, guys. We have to reach 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for the ones that have already subscribed. Thank you, and thank you so much. One love.